Nějaký drama s MidBeastem. Vyskakuje to na mě už od včerejška, takže podle náhledáku to vypadá, jako by MidBeasta někdo chtěl zabít, jestli si pamatujete MidBeasta. Ne, to není MrBeast, to je MidBeast, to je ten, co hraje Mid. Je to, myslím, že asi Američan. A streamuje na Twitchi, možná jste ho někdy viděli.
We've got some normal news later in the video, but for now I want to talk first on the main serious topic. Everything I'm about to talk on was learned from Drew on MidBeast's second IRL content channel known as Indoor Boy, and his original video, which will include all the details in depth, will also be linked in the description. I highly recommend watching the original video because I actually can't capture how shockingly bad this really was, and it also provides more context too. I'd also like to add I have Drew's personal permission to speak on this topic, as we felt it was necessary to bring awareness to the dangers when traveling and also provide more context surrounding the situation. On September 2nd, earlier this month, Drew tweeted this. Life's been
Život je docela dobrý poslední dobou. Myslím si, že udělám League Bootcamp, kde budu hrát 25 her denně, abych si to zkazil. What the fuck, kámo, však to dělám každý den na streamu.
Kinda good lately. Thinking I'll do a league bootcamp somewhere and play 25 games a day to ruin it, alluding to a streamer trip. Then, the next day, he announced that with the support of Team Liquid, he will be traveling to Brazil to hit Challenger from their Alienware training facility.
Okay, takže jede do Brazílie, aby dal Challengera tam. Okay.
The date range he spoke of was September 6th to the 21st. Earlier today, on the 19th of September, Drew posted this on his personal Instagram story. And when I saw this, I realized he seemed
Doma v bezpečí a
to be
update.
back home a little bit early, and saying he was, quote, home safe was already not sounding too good. In the video, he
Okay, ale co se stalo? Už minuta videa,
speaks
už
of
se
an
furt nevím.
incident where, despite him being warned and thus careful with his actions, it was inevitable he'd have to use his phone in public, and thus, this unfortunately happened.
There's no other tourists around. I probably should have went home, so I decided to go to the cathedral, quickly look out where the city started and the old buildings. Beautiful, by the way, beautiful. And I went to get my Uber home. The whole time I had my phone in my underwear, not in my pockets, in my underwear, on my stuff.
Měl telefon v trenkách? Rozumím správně, měl telefon v trenkách. Nebo co? Proč?
Wasn't bringing it out, wasn't running around, flopping it around or anything. Yes, obviously, you know, I'm a tourist and stuff. People can see that.
Asi neměl kapsy, já nevím. To jsem něco myslel.
But I ordered the Uber, I put it back in my pants.
Ok, objednal si Uber a dal si mobil zpátky do Translí, jako jo, dobře.
Tell you guys, like, I look around, I'm looking around, scanning every time I'm in a place where I feel secure. As I know the Uber should be arriving, I grab it, look around, look down, bang. I'm just struck, like with such a force I couldn't believe.
Něco srazilo možná?
I still don't really know where this person came from. I felt like the whole time I was being followed. I didn't really feel safe there. I could see people looking at me.
Takže ho někdo jako followoval a pak ho jako srazil, jako že do něho naběhl prostě a sundal ho na zem, jo.
And like doing things where I knew I didn't feel comfortable. So I got the Uber out and bang, I'm hit. Phone's taken. Obviously it's unlocked.
A telefon mu vzali. Kámo, stranek mu vytáhli telefon.
It's I get it out. It just unlocks, right? So they've got it unlocked. The Uber arrives quickly after that. I could barely even see the guy as he's going so fast, right? Just absolutely smashed my phone on a bike.
So myself, as a
Takže na kole ho srazil někdo a vzal mu mobil z trenek. Chápu správně. Ty vole.
long-term viewer of him could immediately tell how serious this actually was from his demeanor and his overall tone in the video. And some of the details he touches on in the later half of the video, like how the assailant started severing his communication with his support network and home, really hit how isolating and terrifying this situation must have been, especially in a foreign country.
They then get access to your Apple ID, they start resetting things and stuff like that. I don't want to get in the nitty-gritty. I myself, like, you know,
Takže měl všechno jako elektroniku napojenou na ten Apple telefon. Ani mu vyresetovali nastavení, všechno. Kámo, to si mi tady resetli ty vole, všechny moje světla, kterým jsem se tady nastavoval x měsíců. Ale já naštěstí mám Apple telefon, kterým by to domovali, že třeba. Já mám Androida, vole. Přes toho by to nedostali.
I'm not a complete idiot, a little bit of an idiot, but like not a complete idiot. I've got security and stuff, but they're professional. This is what they do. And I can see they're starting to get into banks, all my emails are gone.
Aha, sypy, takže všechny e-maily mu smazali a dostanou, co mají do banky teďka, možná.
I'm just panicking, right? Like, what the hell do? I don't have a phone to call anybody. I don't have everyone back home I thought was asleep. Luckily, I messaged my beautiful assistant who I live with, you know, and she was awake and luckily she just started spam calling all the banks and things like this to try and get ahead of it. But I noticed even in our line of communication, they were reading the messages and deleting my messages to her, deleting the messages coming in. So they were interrupting all of my line of communication and I couldn't recover.
To se hodně v prdele, když dneska vemu telefon, že? Tady můžeš nic vlastně. Já nevím, hodně lidí třeba platí vole přes telefon, že jo, kreditku, když si nějak kreditku uloží do telefonu. Já to třeba nedělám. Já mám tu kreditku prostě peněžence pořád jak boomer. A platím prostě, vždycky to vytáhnu z peněženky tu kreditku. Protože přesně když ti vemou vole telefon, když ti ukradnou telefon, tak jsi úplně v takových srkách.
Because they have all this in my phone. I don't really have any, at that point, nowhere to call people. And I was starting to realize how bad of a situation this was.
As we can tell, he is now back safely home in Australia, but a lot of his accounts are still attempting to be
Jo, on je z Austrálie,
recovered. MidBeast isn't a stranger to traveling, being to basically every major league region and more, and has never had something of this severity occur, so I hope he can recover and it won't affect his future experiences. Again, please show him support on his video on his second channel and the one that's linked in the description below. Now onto some league-related news. We're covering the pro invasion of the US server, highlighting some
Pros take on EU West, deft na vojnu. Ok, tak se podívám ještě.
As a complete shift of pace. Shown on your screen from Tractive is a list of each IGN pro players attending Worlds using while in Europe. And while pretty much everyone here is extremely impressive, some I'd like to highlight are 100 Thieves Quid, who is already at an insanely impressive 661 LP at 54 wins and
54-3, holy moly.
3 losses. I'm pretty sure he was even at like 40 wins or something and no losses at one point, only suffering
To je působivý.
his first defeat around 400 LP. Others to keep an eye on are basically the entirety of TL with every one.
Já mám 16 místný heslo s náhodnými čísly, klidně ať mi onknou mobil. Jo, ale oni mu ten telefon unlocknuli, když mu ho ukradli, chápeš? Ne? Ty jsi to takovýho říkal. Že když mu ho vzali z ruky, nebo z trenek, nebo odkaď vole, tak byl unlocknutý, říkal, no? Ne? Něco takového, já nevím. To jsem jak si nepobil, no, jakože asi... No nevím, no, je to v píči, když dneska ukradnou mobil, tak vole skončil, že?
One of them at least master with a 90+% win rate by Impact, who's Diamond 1.
Měl zavolat do banky, protože ten mobil nemáš, vole.
But he only has 1 loss. There is a slight disclaimer though. A lot of the pros are obviously duoing, so their win losses will be skewed, but they're probably running into each other as well.
Jako když jdou dva pro playeři duo, tak když chcou, tak potahají snad skoro všecko, co se dá, no. To věřím, že jo.
So it sort of balances it out. If you want to keep up to date, the Tractive link will be in the description.
A teďka jsou povolení duo v Masteru zase, že jo? Ty určitě. Jsou? Nejsou?
Following his unfortunate denial to Worlds, professional legend Deft will be beginning his mandatory service under the Korean military. On his personal Instagram, he left the fans
Deft na vojnu, kámo, se vrátí jak John Wick.
with this message saying, I've learned, achieved and gained so much then, but if I had to give it all up and go back, I would, because you guys gave me so many happy and amazing memories. Thank you so much for that. I hope you guys always stay happy and healthy.
No, prostě vedle nich sousedí, že jo, Kim, oni prostě musí na vojnu. Oni nemají na vybranou. Když se Kim zblázní, tak se musí mít bránit, no.
I look forward to the day I can return and greet you again. As we can gather, in his concluding sentence, he does indeed plan on returning to League once his service is over, which I believe lasts around...
A kolik mu bude let už tomu Deftovi, když už vyjde tu vojnu? 27 let mu je. A co když se vrátí, tak mu bude 29, no. To už je konec asi, na to už žádnej tým ani nevím, si myslím, bohužel.
18 months. The 27-year-old should return
18 měsíců, no. Záleží, jak to načasuje, no.
League of Legends still in his late 20s. Also a comparative service that, as they're the same age, Faker was facing before he won
A tak zase on vyhrál Worlds, když mu bylo 26 nebo 25, že jo, takže jako... Já vám říkám furt, když tomu hráčovi 28, tak není odepsaný, nemusí být odepsaný, vůbec ne.
at the 19th Asian Games for Korea, exempting him and his teammates of Zeus, Kanavi, Chovy, Ruler and Keria as they achieved the National Pride exemption under Arts and Culture. In the vein of World's news, and not without controversy, Mid restricted from travelling and will be subbed in for by JDG Yagao. If Scout receives the okay to travel, he is required to attend Worlds immediately under contract, which will render Yagao ineligible. The controversy here comes because not only is Yagao replacing a Korean, it's under the pretty common opinion that Yagao has been underperforming, sandbagging exceptional teammates Ruler and Kanavi, who didn't make it to Worlds at all. In their official...
Ok, nevím, o čem mluví o proplayerech, ale já znám ty jména proplayerů, ale teďka nevím, co myslí vůbec, protože já nevím, kde ani hrajou ti hráči momentálně, protože nesleduju esport, sorry.
Press release, Riot said, quote, utilizing an emergency substitute is an exceptional case-by-case decision and is never the...
Scout replaced at Worlds. Počkej, Scout je to nějaký jungler?
preferred option when addressing roster-related issues. Each case undergoes a thorough review and approval process by Riot Games' competitive operations to ensure fairness. But as controversial as this is, imagine if that roster wins Worlds with Yao as their mid laner, which I kinda would pay to see that, to be honest. I'd also like to add here with surprise roster additions, Reckless will be appearing for T1 as their main roster substitute, which
Jako substitute to bude, no, jako náhradník.
super cool. As we see on the League Pick'em's website, Reckless makes his appearance here.
To je hustý a zároveň možná smutný, protože si možná nezahraje ani jednu hru, že? Musí carryovi, já nevím, musím mu zlomit ruku nebo něco. Jak se zahraje.
Can only imagine this decision was reached due to his consistency with the academy team and also his international tournament experience. A Tier 1 Reckless Worlds winner skin definitely isn't something I would have considered a few years ago, but I have really enjoyed seeing him succeed in Korea. And lastly today, K'Sante is receiving his 31st rework since release. I'm not going to read out every change on your screen, you can pause if you'd like to because it is absolutely ridiculous, but of course the K'Sante mains weren't happy with this meme pulling almost 200,000 views and 10,000 likes. Anyway, that'll do us for the video today. Thank you all so much for...
K'Santeho 31. rework. Okay, co tady máme? RQ CDR reduced, kámo, what the hell? RQ now slows. Ty vole, to je tolik, na to
Of course, the K'Sante... Wait, that'll do us for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching, and we're almost reaching Worlds time, so expect to see a lot of content coming in the next 2 months. See you in another video very, very soon, and subscribe.
Dobré, no.